Hi everyone, it has been quite some time, but welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I want to speak about releasing control over the structure of life and being able to set goals while also holding space for fluctuation and for life to move you in the waves that it usually does. And I'm a big believer in goal setting. I have a goal setting video on my YouTube channel, and I think it's really important to plan and have goals and visions of what you want to be. But I think it's very ill informed to pretend that life will not move us into places that we don't choose. I don't think it's a pessimistic thing to say. I think it's very realistic to just know that life can change very quickly and have conditions that are very much against our control. And I think it's important to acknowledge these things and not see them as, I guess, disadvantages, but to sort of reframe our mindset to be open to wherever life is willing to take us. And I think in a goal setting mindset where we really want to have our 5-year plans and set goals that must happen, I think it's really important to ride on the waves of life. And I think waves is a really good metaphor for this, because you can have your ship and you can have your boat and have a direction that you want to go, but it really depends on the movement of the waves and what direction the waves are maneuvering you towards. And I think life sort of reflects that, because you can have your goals and your visions, and it's good to have those things, but it's also really important to make space for the waves that life will take you on. And I think in a way, having these concrete and unmovable plans can sometimes block, I guess, the blessings that could be coming our way. I am currently in a season of my life where I'm about to have so many new beginnings and lots of closed chapters. And I guess if you spoke to me when I was in school, in high school, secondary school, I would be like, what the heck are you talking about? In terms of so many of the things I'm doing right now, finishing university, the subjects I'm doing, the work I'm going into, just my hobbies, things on the side. It's so different from what I thought I would be doing. And I think it's so important to know that differences and shifts aren't necessarily negative, and that life can segue you into there are so many paths that life can take. There are so many different things you can do. And I think realizing that that segue can push you into something that is so positive and new and different, um, is really insane. And I think we can kind of block that when we hold on so tightly to these plans and these goals and these sort of micromanaging our own lives, when we don't have the whole view of exactly how things are going to pan out. So what does this look like practically? I mean, this is something I'm still trying to figure out myself. I have personally shifted from concrete goal setting to who I want to be and then what that person does. So instead of being like, by the end of the month, I want to read 50 books, and then run a marathon, which are beautiful goals. And, I think it's important to kind of have those ideas and, but to kind of also create space for who that person is rather than concrete, numerical, actualized goals. So I want to be someone who prioritizes fitness. I want to be a long distance runner, or I want to be someone who is knowledgeable in a wide array of different literature. And I think that is sort of something that I would be more focused on as a goal, rather than those numerical XYZ amount of things to do, speaking in a very corporate matter about your life. I think also being so much more comfortable to sit with discomfort. I've spoken about this previously, but we live in a society that is so bent on being comforted all the time, being these dopamine rushes, getting what we want very quickly now. And I think we need to be more comfortable with sitting in discomfort, um, and being comfortable with being moved around and noticing the process and different things, and being comfortable with the process and sitting in that, desiring change and something different, but also being comfortable with the journey, and seeing value in the journey rather than the outcome. But yeah, those are just my thoughts. Stay movable. The waves are coming either way, and I think, you know, it's so important to be aligned with the ebbs and the flows of life. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that video, and I will see you again really soon.